Hello mamas, you're welcome to today's video, and in this channel what we do is to answer common questions, discuss common questions first time moms often ask. And today we have an interesting one regarding breast engorgement. So I'm going to be reading a question. This was one question that was asked in the Telegram group, and this is one very common question amongst first time moms especially, so I thought the need for us to discuss it. So let's dive right into it. So she said, "Good day, doc. Please help. Engorged breast is full, hard and painful. Baby is feeding well, sucks at interval, but breast is full in hours. I pump out to feel relieved, but it's getting unbearable as I can't be taking breast pump out with me whenever I'm going out. Please, what's the cause? How can it be moderate? Note: I've never taken any breast milk enhancement before. The last time I experienced this was when baby was between 2 weeks to 5 weeks and it gets moderated. We are 3 months plus and back to this." So when it comes to this question, when it comes to breast engorgement, it can be quite common amongst nursing moms, be it first time moms. Even if it's not your first time, it can actually happen to any mom. It's not because maybe you're not good at what you do. Sometimes it can happen, but there are some causes actually. For instance, maybe your baby starts sleeping more at night, maybe you're producing more than what your baby can take, or by default your body is just producing more than enough per time. So all of this can cause breast engorgement. So how do you know your breast is engorged? You're not nursing mom first and foremost, you're breastfeeding. So it doesn't happen in those who are not breastfeeding enough. And you're seeing that your breast is becoming heavier and heavier and fuller. And you're also noticing that this breast is becoming painful, like you notice in this question as well. And aside the pain, it can become hard. That's because the breast milk in there is not being drained out. When it comes to breast in general, there are collections of breast milk in this human breast. As in nursing mom, you have collections of breast milk in your breast. And when you're breastfeeding, when you're pumping, you're actually draining this breast milk. And this breast milk will pass through tiny pipes called duct. So if any of these ducts becomes blocked, then there's a problem. It means that this particular breast milk is not draining well. Sometimes it can happen when you're producing too much milk that your baby can take. Sometimes your baby is not feeding as your baby used to feed before. For instance, maybe you used to feed often at night and suddenly your baby starts sleeping all through the night. You can wake up with an engorged breast. These are some of the things that can actually cause it. So what will happen is that you now have this collection of breast milk. Your breast becomes swollen, it becomes hard. Like when you touch your breast, it becomes as hard as a board or as hard as a stone. It can become very painful, and sometimes you can even have hotness of the body. All of these are symptoms of an engorged breast. So what can you now do to relieve yourself as a nursing mom? Remember, it's not because you're inadequate, it's not because you're not doing what you ought to do as a nursing mom. It can sometimes happen. So what do you now do to relieve these symptoms? How do you now get better? And if you notice in this question, she talked about how she pumps each time it gets engorged. When it comes to breast engorgement, there are some mistakes we need to avoid, else it's going to reoccur, and when we have those symptoms, it can get worse with time. When it comes to breast engorgement, there are 2 things to bear in mind when you are trying to drain your breast. You can drain your breast during breastfeeding or pumping, and you can also drain your breast for relief. And these methods are actually 2 different things. For instance, if you're having breast engorgement and your baby wants to feed, it is important to feed. It's important you breastfeed. It's important you continue to breastfeed. This is going to help in draining your breast. If you want to pump your breast milk, it is also important to. However, if you're having the symptoms of pain, discomfort, and all of that, and you want to just relieve your breast milk, that is not the time to empty your breast at all. If you empty your breast at that time, your body is going to produce more milk that will cause more pain, more hardness, and instead of you getting a relief of symptoms, you're going to be having more symptoms. Even the symptoms may even get worse. So if you're breastfeeding your baby, breastfeed on demand. But if you want to relieve yourself from these symptoms, that is not the time to empty your breast. Do not make that mistake. If you want to relieve the symptoms, just empty a little amount that will make you feel relieved. That is not the time to empty your breast. If you empty your breast at that time, when baby is not sucking, you're not pumping to store or something, then you're going to be having more pain because your body is going to produce more. Because the more you empty your breast, the more your body will tell your breast to produce more breast milk. So do not empty your breast if you just want to just feel some relief at a particular point in time. You can just even use your hand to just express a little amount that will make you feel some relief. Another thing you can do is that you can have a massage. You can gently massage your breast. Remember, it is painful, so be as gentle as possible. You can just get a warm napkin, just dip it in warm water, and use it to just massage your breast gently. Especially when you're breastfeeding, you can do that. When you're not breastfeeding, you can actually use cold napkin, put it in the refrigerator. You can place it in your breast, so both warm and cold can help. Or you can just dip a napkin in cold water, and also take over-the-counter medications like paracetamol to help you feel some relief. So when you're having breast engorgement, these are things to bear in mind. Remember the way you're going to be breastfeeding. Remember the massage as much as you can. Do not empty your breast when your baby is not feeding. If you want to empty your breast, empty because you maybe want to breastfeed or you want to pump or you want to feel some relief. Just empty a little amount that will help you have that relief at that particular point in time. You can take over-the-counter drug like paracetamol, and it's important to continue to breastfeed your baby. These are things that can help, and as much as you can, get adequate help, get people to help you, get as much support as a breastfeeding mom, because you need all the help you can get. So you can rest, because you also need rest. If you're going through stress, this can also worsen your symptoms. I hope this is helpful to someone out there. So I'll see you in the next video where we're going to be discussing other questions first time moms often ask about. And until then, remain blessed. Bye.